Hi dancers, and welcome back. I hope you're all still happy, healthy, and having fun dancing at home. We're coming down to the wire here with only a couple weeks left of school, so I hope you're taking advantage of these exercises that I've been giving you and these little choreographic kind of freestyle improv homework assignments that I've been giving you. For this week, again, I'm just going to be giving you a few kind of conditioning type things to keep your body mobile and healthy and strong. And then for your homework, we kind of talked about this exercise a couple of weeks ago, having you be outside and kind of taking in your surroundings and creating movement based off of that. This week, I'd like to encourage you to find either a quote or a poem that draws inspiration for you in any kind of way, whether positive or negative or happy or sad, just anything that emotes a reaction from you. And then find a space that also draws inspiration to you. Whether it be by your favorite tree outside or your favorite building in town or a favorite room in the house. And then try and find how the space and the words might be influencing the way that you move. This is not graded, this is just something fun for you to explore your movement vocabulary and your generation of movement. Yeah, so just take out this opportunity to have some fun with that, and I can't wait to see you guys again soon.
Taking a variation on a single leg bridge. We've done these before. However, this time we're going to take it from a 90-degree angle leg with a flex foot, and then we're going to add our bottom leg onto demi point. So we're going from a flat foot leg raise to then a demi point leg raise. This is something that's really going to help our jumping muscles. Some of those things might have been atrophied or fatigued over these last few weeks since we're not really actively jumping, especially those big jumps. So this is just something to help keep all of those larger jumping muscle groups strong. So laying on our backs, similar to what we've done before, like I mentioned, we're going to take ourself to the floor. Legs are on the floor, feet are on the floor, palms are lifted up. We're going to start by lifting this foot up to a 90-degree angle, and then we're just going to take 8 lifts, pressing that back leg up and down, driving the hips up and down. Careful you're not wobbling on the way up, so really pressing your arms into the floor, feeling your back against the floor as well. So you take that 8 times. After the 8th set, you're going to take that bottom foot to 4 starch or demi point, and then you do the same thing from here. You're going to lift up 1, down 2, up 3, down 4, up 5, and so on and so forth. Yeah, if you want to add again a little bit more challenge, you can always add a TheraBand around your thigh muscles to kind of help make sure that your thighs are staying in alignment and not falling in or out from one another. Here we go. All right, get yourself set up on your back, palms looking at the ceiling, leg up, foot is flat. Here we go. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's hold the 8th one. Hold, holding. Nice deep breath. Gently coming down. Yeah, let's set that bottom foot to demi point. Here we go. 8 lifts. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th one, hold. Breathing. You should feel a little bit of this in your hamstrings, a little bit in your glutes, holding that belly button back tight. Holding. Gently coming down. Set the leg down. We'll switch to the other side. Here we go. For 8, and press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One to hold. Breathing. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to hold. Woo, you can tell that's my weak side. Holy moly. Breathing. And gently down. And relax. You can take a moment to stretch unless you feel like you want to do that a second time, which I highly recommend. But be sure to take a moment when you're done to take a little bit of a stretch, getting those glutes worked out the opposite direction. Nice little stretches. Good work. All right, taking another variation of something we've done before, some heel raises or calf raises. We're gonna do a set on one leg. We'll just do about, let's say we'll call it 8, nice and slow, in parallel. And then from there, you're gonna take a soft plie, right? So not a super deep plie, but just enough where you feel your quads start to engage a little bit and the calf is nice and soft. And then we'll do another set of slow 8, going all the way up to your highest semi point and back down again, yeah? Our goal is to make sure that we're not clicking and shaking along the way. So if that means you have to keep the heel a little bit lower, I highly suggest that, yeah, that's totally fine. But our goal eventually is to get that heel as high as we can without any jerking or shaking. If you start to fatigue, yeah, if your muscles start to get a little bit tired, lessen the plie, bring your body back up just a little bit more, and then lessen how high you're lifting your heel up. Again, if you want to add a little bit more of a challenge, put that TheraBand on, keep it nice and tight. It'll give your legs a little bit more resistance as they're going up and down. We're gonna then repeat it again in a turned out position. So you'll have just your straight leg rises for 8, really nice and slow. And then you go into a soft plie, really paying attention to the alignment of your knee, not letting that thigh bone roll around, right? We're trying to hold it as far back into the hip socket as we can. So it's tracking right over our knee. And then we're taking our weight toward that second metatarsal, up and down, 8 times, nice and easy. We'll be doing both sides, so here we go. So I'm gonna start by standing on my left leg. You're free to choose whichever leg you'd like to start on first. I'm gonna start with my left leg up. Sorry, standing on my left leg, right leg up. Here we go. You can have 2 hands on your bar or have a hand on the hip. Make sure you're not locking into your knee, especially those of you who are hyperextended. You want to keep that knee slightly soft as we take our straight leg rises. 5, 6, 7. Here we go. Up. 1, 2. Soft coming down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take the plie. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try to keep that knee in place as much as you can. 6, 7, 8. Switch sides. And 1. Softly 2, 3. Keep those hips lifted tall. Nice neutral pelvis. Long back of the neck. Relaxing the shoulders. Into that plie. And 1, 2. My right leg's my weak leg. I can feel it already. Up. 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 Ready for turned out. And 1, 2, 3. It's so weird. I can feel really the difference between my strong leg and my weak leg. With that plie. 1, 2. So keep your head nice and level so you're not bobbing up and down. Other side, straight leg. And up. Really tall. Find that alignment. Where do you need to be to get that weight right towards the middle of your second metatarsal? In the plie. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not clicking or flicking. Stretching your calves, just take a little walk around just to keep the muscles active and not static. All right, nice work. All right, if you happen to have a loop band like this, I highly recommend using this kind. If you don't have a looped band, get your TheraBand out, make a little loop yourself. We're gonna go ahead and take our band, and I'm using my extra light one because let's be honest, I'm a little out of shape. So we're gonna step yourself into your band, and we're gonna bring the band right above our knees. Make sure it's nice and flat. And we're gonna take this combination in parallel, and then again in a turned out first position. So kind of a little modified squat situation. You're going to stand on one foot. We're gonna be really mindful of where that knee is tracking, not letting our thighs collapse inward, not letting our hips shift and drop, trying to keep everything nice and lifted and neutral. You can have your hands and your hips are out to your front of you. You're gonna take a slight bend at the pelvis as you take a plie 1, stretch 2, plie 3, stretch 4. So if you're watching me from the side here, as I'm taking my plie, I'm starting really, really upright. I'm not letting my pelvis shift. However, I'm bringing my torso slightly forward as I come back up. So we're really utilizing our glute and our quad as we take this plie and back up again, yeah? We'll do that 8 times on both sides in parallel, and then we'll repeat the similar situation with 1 foot and coup de pied derriere. Same thing, making sure my hips are staying nice and neutral, making sure that thigh bone is not rolling forward. Yeah, I shouldn't see that thigh rolling. We want to keep it nicely held back, tracking again over that second toe, that second metatarsal. So similarly here, you're going to take that demi-plie. Less of a pitch in the hips here. You can take a tiny little one just to make sure we're getting the glutes involved here, but not so much like we're in ballet class where we're keeping our back up really tall in the plie, taking just a slight dip, going a little bit beyond and deeper, really paying mind to where that thigh is tracking in our alignment, yeah? This is to help with landing jumps, taking off of jumps, getting into releve pirouettes, getting out of releve pirouettes. So really finding that strength and control from this bent position and having the resistance of the band to make sure that we're utilizing the outsides of our hips, yeah, the muscles that really help stabilize our pelvis when we're taking off and landing. Here we go. And as always, if you are particularly hyperextended, or even if you have a little bit of extra mobility in your knee joint, make sure that when you're coming up from the straightened position that you're not locking back into your knee. Yeah, you still want to come to a bit of a soft position. So we're really working on the muscles that protect our joint and not relying on just the mechanics of our knees pulling back into their straight position. So really finding strength in the muscles that protect our joints. Standing in that parallel first position. Here we go. Feeling your core nice and engaged. Picking up that foot. Here we go, not letting the knees roll out or in. Nice and neutral. Here we go. Plie. And stretch softly. And 2. up. You can take those arms out if you'd like. And up, hold on tight. Nice and easy. Up. Not locking back. More. And careful where that thigh is tracking your knee. Good, holding tight to the outside of the hips. Stabilizing. And good, let's turn it out. Down. Watch where that thigh is. Keep the pelvis nice and neutral so your thigh bone can stay far back. 4 more. Good. And not locking into your knee joint. Keep it nice and soft. 2 more. Good. Switching sides. And good. Holding again. Tightening on the outside of the hips. Find those stabilizers. Softly. 4 more. Good. 2 more. 1 more. Whew. Nice job. So with that loop band or your looped TheraBand, we're gonna go ahead and hop on in. And again, taking the band right above our knees. We're gonna come to a turned out first position, nothing too crazy, just a nice and neutral turned out first position, whatever your natural rotation is. You can have your hands up on your hips. We're gonna rise up to demi point, and you're gonna come down to a 4 starch where your heels are touching. From here, arms up to first. We go 5 and 6, hold 7 and 8. You're gonna stretch up 1, close 2, up 3 and 4, up 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Pulse for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 for 5, 6, 7 and 8. Then you're gonna go lower, 2, 3, 4, lower, 6, 7, 8, little lower, 2, 3, 4, slowly back to that neutral 4 starch where you started 7, 8. When you stretch up 1, plie 2, woo, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. You have 8 pulses here, boop, 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 boop. And then you have a slow descent, recovering just a little bit. We're gonna do 4 sets. I'm not gonna mark out the whole entire thing because I'm gonna barely make it as we do it with music. Making sure that you're finding that nice neutral pelvis. We're really feeling our rotation deep. We're not on a full high 4 starch, but just enough to where you feel your heels touching. Be mindful of where your rectangle is at all times. Hands on those hips as you start, and then we'll gather in and out, getting that little bit of extra movement and weight shifting just ever so slightly as those arms are moving in and out of position. Take a deep breath. Here we go with music. All right, here we go. Nice neutral turned out first position. Rising up into that plie. We go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Going low. 2, 3, 4. A little lower. Little lower. Back up to neutral. Okay, here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Descending. Low. Little more. 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Descending low. And a little more. I am shaking. Holy smokes. Back to your neutral position. Last set, we got this. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Pulsing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last descending. 1. And a little lower. Oh, the shakes. Good. Return to that neutral position. Hold. Wow, talk about highlighting your weaknesses. This is a really simple exercise, but all those little spots in your muscles where you have a little bit of weakness will really start to show up. So don't be discouraged. Take this opportunity to recognize where you can build strength and have some fun.